Okay, so literally, I just did a test and I was like, I'm sure it's going to be really good. Um, and then I forgot that I had some desserts. Hello and welcome to my next video. It's me, the Diabetic Cookie, and I'm checking in at the moment from Thailand. So for you guys that don't know, me and Molly have been travelling for the past 2 months. Month and a bit. So for all the people out there that's watching this video that don't know, we've been travelling Southeast Asia for the last month and a bit. And in that time, we've stopped off in Bali, Indonesia, Singapore, and now we are in obviously the south of Thailand, and we've seen amazing things. We've had an amazing time so far. But today I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit more about my diabetes and diabetes in general. And whilst travelling, we met this couple, and their niece has just been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And naturally, they had loads of questions, and I just thought I'd come on here and talk to you guys about travelling with diabetes in general, how I'm dealing with travelling in Asia with diabetes. Because you have to remember, there's not fridges everywhere that we're going. In some of the places where we've been staying, you know, we've had to improvise and adapt to keep the insulin cool. So yeah, I just wanted to go through some tips and tricks, maybe answer a few questions, and hopefully, if you're here to find out a little bit more about type 1 diabetes, I can hopefully teach you something. So we left Australia well over a month ago now, and we went to Bali first of all. So leaving Australia with my insulin was absolutely fine. Luckily, I've never really had a problem with taking my insulin through customs. They see it all the time. Diabetes is getting more and more common now. So I mean, yeah, for me, I've never had a problem. I have heard of some stories from people getting stopped and getting their insulin tested. Somebody was actually telling us the other day when we were in Phuket that their friend actually got their insulin taken away. I'm not sure if it's true. If it is, it's pretty horrific. When we went into Bali again, no problems with the customs. No one stopped us or anything. So that was all really easy, really good. Obviously, I talked in my last video about these things. So on the plane, we used the Frio packs. It was a relatively long flight. It was about 6.5 hours, 7 hours, something like that. And I just kept checking on the insulin, making sure, obviously, insulin, if it goes too hot, it stops working. It's not going to do anything. Obviously, we are backpacking, but we're not actually staying in like hostels. I was a bit nervous with the whole hostels situation, just because I know from experience, when we were staying in hostels all the time in Australia, you've got communal fridges, and for me, I don't really trust leaving my insulin somewhere that anyone has, they could get into it, take it, chuck it away. Do you know what? For me, it's just too much hassle. So yeah, me and Molly have been staying in hotels. So in Bali, we were really lucky. All of the places we stayed had a fridge. So I didn't have to worry about my insulin. It was nice and cool. And when we were moving from place to place, because we travelled around Bali, we just used the Frio packs. So with the Frio packs, once they're already in use, you only have to re-dunk them in the water for about 2 to 3 minutes until the little balls actually get hard, and it goes completely solid. And then you shove your insulin inside and keeps it nice and cool. So yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about how my diabetes was in Bali. I would say I've been on the low side with my insulin, with the heat. As I said in one of my past videos, I find that if it's really hot, I run on the lower side. I haven't had many hypos. I've had a few, but not loads. Okay, so after Indonesia, we then went to Singapore. And I'd heard loads of things about Singapore, that they were really strict on the medication that you're taking in. So I was a little bit apprehensive, but again, absolutely no problems at all. When we were coming through, me and Molly were sort of tempted to go in the declare bit, but I mean, we didn't declare my insulin or any of my medication, and it was absolutely fine when we were leaving Singapore. So if you're traveling to Singapore, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. But if you do have over a month's supply, I believe you need to let them know in advance, and let them know what illness you have, and they can sort it out. So in Singapore, we were staying in a budget hotel, and this budget hotel didn't have a fridge. But it was okay, because around the corner there was a 7-Eleven, or a mini mart sort of thing, a corner shop basically, and they sold ice. So I decided that I was gonna put my insulin in the sink, and just fill it with ice, and make sure that obviously it wasn't too cold, because obviously the insulin dies if it's too cold or if it's too hot. So we were just making sure that it was at a good temperature. We were there for about 5 days, with no fridge. Didn't use the Frio packs, just constantly used ice, or just kept the insulin submerged in the melted ice, and it was absolutely fine. I've changed my insulin a couple of times since, and the insulin's absolutely fine. It's working perfectly. So yeah, that's another tip. If you are ever anywhere with a large amount of insulin and you need to try and keep it cool, just get some ice, cover it with ice, and just keep it cool. Okay, so after Singapore we flew to Phuket, and again used the Frio packs, kept them nice and cool, and we arrived at our hotel. And luckily, all the time we've been in Thailand, in Patong, in Phi Phi, and now in Krabi, we've had a freezer. Egypt. We had a fridge. Okay, so I'll just show you the amount of insulin that I accumulated in Australia. So obviously we've been travelling already for well over a month probably or so. So I've gone through quite a lot, but this is still how much I've got left. I like to travel with plenty of insulin. You never know if a vial or a pack of insulin won't work. Whoops. So yeah, I've got more than enough to carry on for the next 5 weeks, and we just keep it in the fridge nice and cool. One thing I would say to anyone that is going to come travelling to Asia, obviously you're going to be eating a lot of carbs, rice, and well, pretty much just rice most of the time. So yeah, obviously you just got to keep doing your tests. I've been running actually a really good level. I've had a couple lows, like I said earlier in the video, but I've got to say most of the times I've been doing pretty well. Now that doesn't mean that I haven't been going high. And for any of the diabetics out there that might be watching this video, and thinking, oh well, you know, I keep going high, or I'm high all the time. Yeah, I'm not making these videos to try and make out that I'm the perfect diabetic, or that I never go high, or that I never drink alcohol, and it, you know, your blood spikes. So yeah, last night, me, Molly, and some friends that we met, we went out. We were drinking cocktails, and I did a test, and I was 20. Okay, so yeah, that was not great. You know, you don't really want to ever go up to 20, but you know, so I did a test straight away. I knew that I was going to be high because I was drinking a sugary drink. Did a test, and I just gave myself insulin straight away. And for me, I feel that testing is the most important thing. You know, I never go out drinking without my tester and without my insulin. So if I am high on holiday, after I've been having a few drinks or eating a nice dessert at a restaurant, and I do go up to 20, what do I usually do? Well, for me, when I do my test, I try and calculate it. If I'm 20, I try and give myself 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I want to try and bring myself down by 10. So I'm aiming for sort of 9 or 10. So I would then give myself 5 units of insulin. So how I was taught, and this was a long time ago, for me it works really well. Obviously for other diabetics that might be watching, or if you're a family member of a diabetic, you know, everyone works differently. Yeah, but for me, I use 1 unit of insulin as to come down by 2. So yeah, if I'm 20 and I want to come down to 10, we go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5 units of insulin, bang that into me, and then I'll do another test sort of 10 to 15 minutes later. Okay, so I thought I would just do a little test to show you guys, you know, that not every diabetic's perfect out there. You're not always going to be at 8. It just doesn't happen. This is the tester that I use. Ooh, where are we to? There we are. This is the Come on. Stupid phone. This is the AccuCheck Mobile. Okay, I've been using this tester for about 5 years now, and I just find them amazing, to be fair. You don't have to worry about the little test strips, taking them around, and you literally open it up. Get your blood. Where are we to? There we are. Whack it on there, and it does its thing. Oh, literally, I just did a test, and I was like, oh, I'm sure it's going to be really good. And then I forgot that I had some desserts, and yeah, it's 20. Okay, so that is exactly what I wanted. I want it to be high so I can show you what I do. Now, I hope no one's going to be like, that's really bad for you. Yeah, obviously being high it's not good for you. It's not good for your body, and I definitely wouldn't want to tell anyone that 20 is good, because it's not. But it happens, unfortunately. It happens to me. I'm sure it happens to a lot of other diabetics as well. So I'm going to try and come down to 9 to 10. So as I said on the video before, I'm going to give myself, where are we? 5 units of insulin. Really doesn't want to pick that up, does it?
What you do, Ben? Put your hand in front of it like that.
Like this?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not working. It's real blurry. Anyway, 5 units of insulin. And I'm just going to chuck that in the old Leggeroo. All good. So, like I said, I'm going to do another test in about 15 minutes to half an hour. And if I haven't come down, I'm going to give myself more insulin. This is going to be just a quick video today. Talking to the guys we met on Fifi really made me think that people still really don't know about diabetes, especially type 1. For example, I seen an article and it really annoyed me. I really wanted to message them on men's health on Facebook the other day, and it was the article's title was how to reverse diabetes or some crap like that. And it's that sort of advertising that puts a bad name for diabetics, but I feel people when they hear diabetes, they automatically think, oh, type 2, oh, he's fat, or he's ate so much sugar, or he's this or he's that. Do you know what I mean? And it's not the case, obviously. There's people out there that's getting diagnosed every single day, and I know from experience people struggle every single day. And I've watched interviews with people, and they sort of shrug diabetes off sometimes. Even people with diabetes can shrug it off sometimes, and say, "Oh well, it's just basically the same as living without diabetes." It's not the same. And growing up as a teenager, I found it really hard, and sometimes I really resented having diabetes. And if there's other people out there that feel the same, that's what I want to try and put my videos out, just to help someone. So yeah, if there is anyone else out there that has questions, that wants to know a little bit more about diabetes, like I've said before, guys, I'm not a doctor. I wish I was a doctor. I'd be living it up, but it's not the case. But I have lived with type 1 for a long time, and I would like to think that I might be able to help someone, or that I can help a family member with a bit of information that's just had a young child diagnosed. So yeah, that's my video. Sorry it's a bit short, but I am currently in Thailand and got some stuff to do, mate. So yeah, that's me, Cookie, over and out. Bye, bye, bye. It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.